Are you navigating the labyrinthine world of drug discovery and feeling lost? What if there was a Google Maps to guide you through the complexities of pharmaceutical R&D? Today, we have a solution that promises just that.
Yeah. For me, a lot stemmed from the impact that I wanted to make and where I saw most effective for that impact to be made quickly. I've always been really focused on, bringing things to bear that make experiences on our planet better.
In the upcoming clip, Samantha Dale Strasser, CSO and co-founder of Pepper Bio, shares her personal journey and the driving force behind her career. She discusses why she chose the startup route over academia to make a quicker impact in healthcare and drug discovery. Samantha also touches on the vibrant startup ecosystem in Boston and Cambridge, emphasizing the wealth of resources and community support available for innovators. Don't miss out on this amazing conversation that delves into the motivations and decisions that shape the future of drug discovery. Click below to watch the full episode or listen to the entire podcast.
Yeah. For me, a lot stemmed from the impact that I wanted to make and where I saw most effective for that impact to be made quickly. I've always been really focused on, bringing things to bear that make experiences on our planet better. That's been a driving force for me across the board of thinking about what I want to do in my career. And from the research that I was doing in graduate school and my goal to make an impact for patients within healthcare, I saw the quickest way to do that and to really have the ability to grow that the way that I saw could effectively bring it to bear was through a startup. I think really depends on the research questions and the science, but for me, of taking a really fundamental goal of improving how we make decisions in drug discovery, I saw doing that through a startup as the quickest way to do that. For me, I had considered staying in more research through academia and the like. I found that the questions and the translation ability would have been a different fraction. It would have been more focused on research as opposed to focused here, where I'm really focused on bringing that to bear in terms of to market. And for me, that bringing to market and bringing to application very quickly was the part that drove me to seeing a startup was an easy choice in that sense. Obviously, there's similarities that I think are interesting. Some people say as a PI, you're kind of running your own mini company in your lab, which is true, right? You write grants, you get funding, you hire students, just like we hire employees.
It's like a startup then.
But yeah, it's something that for me, the translation part to industry, we've been bringing that to folks was much quicker through a startup.
Yeah, that's true. I think the lab work at research institutions is still more scientific driven than market driven. Before we talk about your company, let's stay a little bit about this in the startup ecosystem. I tried my first attempt in founding a startup in the 90s. It was something similar to Facebook, but the technology was not that far advanced. And it was more a local solution because the internet was not so well connected like it was 2006 or like it is now. The reactions I got from the environment were quite funny because I think 100% of the people thought simply, me and my friends are nuts, are simply crazy to start a company in the internet that nobody needs actually. And it must be a failure right away. So the support for startups back then was practically, I would say, very, very close to zero. Maybe offend one or the other person, but it is definitely has not been the ecosystem that we see right now here also in Europe. What I'm curious about is how is the situation for scientific startups in Boston and in Cambridge?
What we found, obviously it's through a lens of a, drug discovery biotech company. We've found that it's, very strong. You can find networking events probably every day of the week if you really wanted to, in terms of folks ready to chat about and who are intrigued to see what you're building, what you're doing. And this does extend beyond biotech. There's a lot of resources for also alternative energies. Folks may know the name Greentown Labs is local to here. So there's a wealth of both resources in terms of mentors, in terms of potential, folks who are excited to join startups. I think that's something that we found really exciting, is just the community of people. And with universities, I talked a bit about at MIT, the resources that we have available, but there's, also at Harvard, a life science lab there as well that helps to really grow and build startups. With business school, you have a resource of, again, kind of a business background of folks that are really focused on that. So it's really dense in that sense of just what's available. And I've been, I think, really, I've been to look back and sometimes remember how wonderful that bubble is. And I think as much as folks can find a way to get to know people connected to, it's a very open bubble in that sense that, there's a lot of people excited to chat and we all want to make a difference. And finding passionate people is, something that across the board here, folks are very excited about.
Wow. What an insightful conversation with Samantha Dale Strasser. Her journey from academia to entrepreneurship is truly inspiring. It's clear that the startup route has allowed her to make a quicker and more meaningful impact in healthcare and drug discovery. And it's not just about the science, it's about the community, the resources, and the drive to make the world a better place. If you found value in this episode, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Sharing this episode with others who would benefit from this content would mean the world to me. Your engagement helps attract more incredible speakers to deliver valuable insights on entrepreneurship, investing, coaching, health, and innovation. My favorite topics. Thank you for joining today. Until the next episode, and keep innovating and making a difference.